Hey guys, the Super Review Show for another episode of Why You Should Watch. This is the show where I break down TV shows or movies that I think you should just check out no matter what, because there are some great TV shows and great movies out there, and this is why it's called Why You Should Watch. But today, as the title of this video suggests, I'm talking about Star Trek: The Next Generation. Now, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, good for you. You're in that fold of people like, oh my god, I love Star Trek. Live long and prosper. Live long and suck it, Darth Vader. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it. They're both great. Don't worry. But Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm currently been watching it now on Paramount Plus. I'm on season 2. I'm halfway through season 2. Forgive me. I have a life outside of doing Super Review Show and outside of doing other fun things that I want to do because of work. I know it's ridiculous. I got shame, I know. But I love doing this, though. I love doing this for you guys. I love doing the shows. It's all fun. But it comes to a point in time where you have to watch Star Trek. And The Next Generation was... This is my second time watching it, though. I've watched it all the way through when it was on Netflix. And it was incredible. For lack of a better word, this show is incredible. I would argue, some people might disagree, I would argue it's even better than the original series. And you know me, I just did a video on the original series about how great that show is. That show pioneered just about everything. It was the granddaddy of the science fiction TV shows. We had Twilight Zone at one point, but then we had Star Trek, and Star Trek changed everything. The first real sci-fi show about Earth and humanity and whatnot. Go check out that video, just saying. This show takes place about 100 years after the events of Star Trek, the original series. And Picard and his crew now take over the Enterprise, and they go on their missions. One of the things I love, and I love more as I'm rewatching the show now for the second time around, is the different... So the first season, it really caught me up on what was missing or what happened in the 100-year time span between the original series and The Next Generation. Because The Next Generation is literally 100 years later after the events of the original series. So, what happens is, as I said, Picard takes... Patrick Stewart, you are phenomenal. Star Trek Picard, I have not gotten into that because I'm trying to watch everything in order first. But I love him as one of my favorite captains. But him and Kirk go back and forth. I love both. But... Star Trek: The Next Generation has incredible characters, new alien races, and it lasts 7 seasons. So, in fact, one of the earlier episodes that I saw, one of the later episodes of season 1, had an episode where they introduced... I'm going to butcher the name, but everyone knows what I'm talking about. The Fergini. I'm butchering their name, but I love those characters. They have the weird brown look to them, and this is a really good sci-fi. This is just brilliant science fiction. I cannot wait till I get to season 3 and 4 with the Borg. The Borg, guys. The Borg. Come on, am I pushing my glasses back enough that I don't have on? I cannot emphasize how much I love this show so far. And one of the things I love about the first season was it showed how there's new alliances in the Federation. Like the Klingons are now allies with the Federation because we have Worf on board. Mr. Data is created now officially. He's great as well. Brent Spiner killed that role. He forever that role. And the different elements of Will Wheaton's character, Wesley Crusher. There are so many other elements on this show that really just kick off. The show is so great, and I can't wait till I get to the end of it, because I remember the first time I watched the ending of the show, after I binge watched the whole 7 seasons of it. I want to emphasize this point, the series finale of Star Trek: The Next Generation, I would argue is the best series finale of all time. I know I did a video about that a while ago, about what are the best series finales of all time. I would say that this is probably the best, because I'm going spoiler territory for anyone who's not seen the show and wants to know. Bear with me. If not, mute your video. Don't do anything yet. All right. When I put my hands back up, that's when you can unmute yourself. Okay. The last 2 episodes are called "All Good Things ... meaning all good things come to an end. And in 1994 they had the show end with Q as a villain, and the way that the final dialogue of the show, the last scene that you see of the Starship Enterprise, I'm getting emotional. The last scene you see of Star Trek The Next Generation, because one of the things they always do at the end of every episode is that they like to play poker together. They play poker together. Picard never joins them. Picard never joined them for any of those episodes whatsoever. He only joined them for the last episode. And the final dialogue wrapped that show up perfectly. You're good now. You can unmute. That ending was great. And I would argue it's the best series finale of all time. Because when you think about TV shows and how they ended, you think of a few. You think of any show. And it could be a sitcom, could be a comedy, whatever. The Office, I would say. I would say that... But Seinfeld, sort of not. It was kind of like on the fence about it. Because how can you go to jail for being rude? Didn't really make a lot of sense. What do you call it? Cheers, we're closed. What happened? Frasier's ending was really great. I would say that's a really good one. Because it's hard to end a show on a very good note, a very emotional note, a very solid note. And I feel like Star Trek The Next Generation just nailed that. Out of all the TV shows we've had over the years that actually had series finales, that's probably one of the best ones. I have to. Yeah, the X-Files, they brought it back twice, So I would say Star Trek The Next Generation has the best series finale. So when you're watching the show, just keep in mind, for me, that the show ends on such a solid note. And you'll feel satisfied, you'll feel complete, you'll feel really well. It's a bittersweet goodbye, but it's a perfect ending. Perfect ending to a perfect show. So, bottom line, guys, what do you think? Have you seen Star Trek The Next Generation? Are there any other points that I may have missed that you know about? And just sound off in the comment section below. I'd love to interact with you guys down there. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications, like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on our social media accounts as well. Simply at The Super Review Show, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. But for all of your why you should watch videos, keep it locked on The Super Review Show. The J-Man off the rock. Live long and prosper. I will see you guys later.